Hello everyone, this is Joanna. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm making one of my favorite pop-up cards, and especially for this application when you're using underwater stuff, I think it fits in perfectly. It's so amazing because every time you put it in an envelope, it doesn't fail. It just pops right up when your recipient gets the card. So let's get started. We're going to need 2 pieces of black cardstock, 7.5 by 4.25, and they are both scored at 1/2 inch and 1 inch on both sides. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1 inch. Now, one of them is going to be the back, the other one is the front. So let's fold the creases, and you want to make sure that the fold is nice and crisp. There, and this one is going to be the front, and we are going to run it through the die cut machine with our die cut, which I just dropped, this one. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we crease the paper, and the reason being is that the corners, the edges are so thin that once you run the die cut, it's very hard to fold them. So you can place it on a cardstock and run it through your die cut machine. And when you do that, this is what you're going to get. You see how thin this edge here is? It would have been very hard to crease it. Now I don't have that problem at all. Now, what you can do, you can make it very simple. What I did on my original card, I just placed a piece of acetane on the back to create glass effect. But what I wanted to do on this one is add a little bit of touch of something. I wanted to add the shine on the very edges of all the plants and of some of the fish, just to show the light that is coming in. I did it with the fish here. You don't have to do that. You can completely skip this step, but I think it's kind of fun. So for that, I am using a mica powder, silver mica powder. This is Pearl X, and some perfect medium, but you can use Versamark. Versamark works just as well, and actually I will use Versamark for some of those images. I think it's probably just easier. So you're just going to put a Versamark pen, that's what it is, Versamark pen, and just put a little touch on of Versamark on the very edges of your leaves, just so that the mica powder can stick to it. And like I said, you can use the regular pad and just swipe it, but I'm just going to use the pen for now, and I'll show you the pad. So you can take a pad and just go with the pad on the edges like that, and that's gonna, you just want to get it kind of wet so that the mica powder will attach itself to it. Now let's grab the mica powder and a little brush, and let's start applying. And the mica powder will stick to the parts where you added your Versamark on. And you don't want complete coverage. You just want little touches, and all the excess will just shake off. But I think it just adds a little nice touch to the aquarium when you have that little bit of shine. See, so all those little parts that I put the Versamark on, they get the mica powder stuck on them. And I also pre-cut some images from the same set in black, because I wanted to add them for a 3D effect to the acetane. Like here I added the shark and the stingray, and you can see that they both have a little bit of shine. I think it just looks really neat. Well, I don't have them because I already used them, but maybe I'll use the jellyfish. So let's put some silver mica powder on the jellyfish, and you can see that, you know, that attaches itself very nicely. And let me put it on this little fish here. Don't ask me what fish it is. I don't know if I need another one, really. Okay, one more, just because I can. So, some Versamark and the Perfect Pearls, and we're going to be set with that. Okay, so now we are done with it. You can completely skip this step if you don't want to have any silver in it. You can go straight to applying the attaching the acetane. Alright, so let's get to the acetane, and here you can see that I added actually a little bit more to my other sample, but it will just stick to the one that I was just making. So let's put the acetane on. I like to keep the acetane sheets come with the backup, with the white backup, and for whatever reason I really love keeping that backup on until I'm done applying. So alright, a little bit of glue, and acetane is going to go on. I'm going to show you, I made one card without the acetane, so you can actually put your finger through it inside, and I thought that was pretty nice. I thought that it worked pretty cool. So I'm going to put the acetane on right now. The paper is on the side, so acetane goes on, and you know, if you have worked with the acetane, that it takes a few minutes to settle. So I'm just going to put it on the side and let it work and dry, and I'm going to work on the inside. Now the inside piece, it's 4 1/4 and by 5 1/2, and actually it's not 5 1/2, it's, I take a sliver off on the end because 5 1/2 exactly has a very hard time fitting in here. So I already sponged it with the 2 colors that come in the set, and I have it ready somewhere right here, and I'm going to give it a light spray with water, just because it's fun to have some kind of texture. And I am ready to actually start stamping on it. So I already prepared my stamps. My apologies for the shaking. I have to move my stuff here. I already prepared my stamps. I know where they're gonna go. So I'm just putting the piece of paper in the stamping platform, and off we go stamping. And if you have not used stamping platform, once you use it, you will never stamp without it again. It is just the neatest thing, because as you can see, when you don't get a perfect image, you can go back and you can restamp it over and over until you are completely satisfied with the way it looks. Let's see if this is better. It was much better, but you know, just because I can, I am going to stamp it one more time so it's nice and dark and crisp. And you can see that right here at the bottom, I'm keeping all the stamps that I'm using at the moment. I just keep them handy here until I'm done with the project. Okay, so this is it. This is it for the inside of the card. So I'm going to grab my backing, and now you can glue it down. So we're going to glue this You are a fantastic friend. Cute saying. And we are ready for the top. Now, once again, you have a choice, and I put mica powder all over my stuff here, which means that I have to wipe it. You can just take it and just attach it, and it's very simple, and your card is done. Or we can attach the few images that we already pre-cut. We can just attach them for just for the sake of I don't know, adding some dimension to the card. So let me put some glue on this little guy here. I know pretty much where I want to put him. Put him here. And also it's going to take a second to set, so that you know. And this one here, maybe we can put it on top. Using acetane just takes a few minutes to set. Now you can totally skip this part. You can just put your acetane and just be done with it. Especially if you're making a bunch of those cards, this is totally not necessary. It's just fun. So I'm gonna wait for this to set, and meanwhile I am going to apply tape to both sides here, and I'm using a tacky tape that is pretty strong, and that's what you're looking for. Unless you have a very strong glue, that would work too. And I think that we are ready to put this together. Peel this off. Let's grab our card, the front of the card, and attach it. Now we're going to go back to the other side. And attach the other side. And this, my friends, is our pop-up card. And I absolutely love it. It works so well. And it's just so neat looking when someone gets it and they put it on the shelf, and there you go. So you have that little 3D effect of the little fish that I attached here, or the jellyfish. This is my original card, but I also made another one that I want to show you, and it's this one where I did not put the acetane. So you can stick your finger through it and you can just get in there. Anyways, I think that that's pretty cool too, and your message would go in the back, which means, of course, that you are going to have to put a white piece of cardstock in the back, which I just thought about. Anyways, my friends, hope you enjoyed it, and give it a try. Until next time, ta-ta!